Remembering Eeyore's birthday helped Pooh Bear forget about the rumbly in his tumbly.
Why, hello, Eeyore. I hope you're having a very happy birthday.
Not especially. Didn't start off very well. My house fell down again, and it's still not fixed.
Oh, perhaps something will come along to make your day better. We have a very special surprise for Eeyore today, and I shall go see how it is coming along.
Hi, kids, and welcome to another Winnie the Pooh's adventure. In this story, we are going to be talking about Eeyore's birthday. Unfortunately, his birthday did not start so well because his house, or his shelter, broke down. However, Winnie's got a present in store for him, and he needs to go to check on the present. Unfortunately, path to Piglet, who's got the present for Eeyore, has been blocked. So Pooh went and tried to find another way to get to Piglet, but first he went to see Rabbit, because Rabbit had an idea how a frog could help potentially get to
Making
Piglet.
so much noise I can't get any rest. You absolutely must take the little frogs back to their mother.
To help Mother Frogs find baby frogs, we had to cross the bridge. Tigger was on the bridge and he was willing to help Winnie to get to
Bear, I
Piglet.
was hoping to see. We got trouble, buddy boy. Eeyore's secret-like surprise is about to be ruined.
Oh, dear. Oh, perhaps I should try to cross the bridge and save it.
Looks like that bridge needs a turning with a turn-type handle. I'll bounce off and see if I can find one for you.
To get across the bridge, we needed some kind of a handle. So Tigger went and started sneaking around enemies to get to a point where a handle can be reached, and then he needed to bring that handle back to Winnie the Pooh. However, there were many enemies around, in first area and in the second area too. Thankfully, Tigger was fantastically stealthy and he could get past all of these enemies unseen and grab the handle.
Oh, thank you, Tigger.
You're welcome, Pooh. Now, you gotta go find little Piglet. He's gotten the present, you know.
With the handle that Tigger brought back to Winnie, Winnie could now cross the bridge. However, on the other side there were a couple of enemies, so Winnie needed to use his wits and his speed to get away from enemies and pop the balloon. Tigger's house, there were a bunch of bees that protected the huge jar that Winnie needed to collect the baby frogs for the mother frog. Thankfully, Winnie collected enough honey pots so that the bees would fly away and we could now pick up the jar. In the next area, there were a couple more enemies, but there were also friends afterwards. Winnie again had to run to get to the balloon, pop the balloon, and then talk to his friends Roo and Eeyore.
Eeyore? Are you playing a game today?
Nope, not a game. We're trying to catch these frogs so we can take them back to their mother.
Yeah, she keeps calling them, and her calls are stopping Mr. Rabbit from getting rest.
Sure would be helpful if we had a jar to put them in.
Baby frogs were in the area, and it was time to jump on Eeyore's back and start catching frogs.
This will be very helpful for catching the frogs.
I know, Pooh Bear. Why don't you help Eeyore catch the frogs?
That sounds rather fun.
Gonna have to be quick. The frogs like to hide. Glad I could help. Suppose I'll go back to fixing my house now.
And I shall take these frogs to their mother.
That's a great idea, Pooh Bear. We'll see you soon.
After collecting enough frogs, it was time to get back to the mother frog. In the next area, there were 3 enemies. One of them unfortunately caught Winnie, so Winnie had to restart all of it and then run from them again to pop the balloon. Thankfully, Winnie is smart enough to know what he's doing, and he managed to accomplish that without any issues in the second try. After dealing with the last 2 enemies that were near Mother Frog, Winnie could finally talk to the Mother Frog, bring her back the babies, and pick up the lily that would help him cross the river on the other side.
That Mama Frog is called...
Oh, thank you, Pooh Bear. At last, a little peace and quiet. Now I can get some rest.
This water lily looks very strong. You know, I think I could even walk on it.
To get to an item that Winnie needed to fix Eeyore's problem, he needed to get through 2 areas where a bunch of enemies were waiting for him. Thankfully, there were also balloons in the area, so Winnie just had to run and be smart again to pop the balloons before enemies could catch up to him.
Oh, yes, I shall...
Winnie picked up the sledgehammer after dealing with a lot of enemies and then started making his way towards Piglet. Unfortunately, Sledgehammer was not a weapon, but it was more of a tool that would bring down the rocks, blocking the path to Piglet. He could not attack enemies with it, but he could use the sledgehammer to destroy rocks, which he did.
Oh, Pooh, look! This rock is going to fall. And when it falls, it will fall on Eeyore's present.
Don't worry, Piglet. I'll see what I can do.
The present was finally revealed, and it is a new house for Eeyore. Eeyore would be very happy to get a new house for his birthday because his old one broke down. Unfortunately, there was also a huge boulder above the present that would destroy it eventually if it had dropped down in a bad way. So Winnie went into a scary cave to deal with that problem. A couple of enemies were waiting for Winnie in the cave, but he dealt with them easily.
This passage is a bit too narrow for me, but perhaps Piglet could get through.
After that, however, Winnie had a specific problem. He was too big to get through a small passageway. So he went and asked Piglet for help. Piglet was small enough to get through that passageway.
Oh, Piglet, it seems that our path is blocked, and only a very small animal such as yourself can get through.
Oh, all right, Pooh Bear. I'll try and help.
Piglet happily accepted, went back into the cave, but there were a couple of nasty enemies waiting for him there, so he needed to start making faces at them. Piglet does that best. He doesn't need that balloon, he just needs to make faces. There were some issues with the enemies, as one of the enemies managed to get to Piglet, so Piglet had to restart.
I'm very glad we saved Eeyore's present, but now it seems that we are stuck.
Pooh Bear, I think I can get through. I'll go and get a stick to clear the way.
Piglet safely dropped down the boulder, but now they were stuck. Thankfully, Piglet was small enough to get through and get to a stick. Stick was guarded by a couple of nasty enemies, and a new enemy at that too. He needed to clear first couple normal enemies from the first area to get to the second, where the new enemy would be. That new enemy had the stick.
I never knew that I was so strong.
Oh, yes, Piglet, and you were very brave, too. Now, I shall go get Eeyore so that we can give him his present.
I hope Eeyore likes this present.
Piglet moved the boulder with a stick, and now Winnie was home free. He could now get back to Eeyore and tell him all about the present, but to get home he had to get through a couple of areas where many enemies were waiting for Winnie. By popping the balloons, Winnie went through all of these enemies, got back to Eeyore, and finally could show the present.
Happy birthday, Eeyore. We have a very special surprise for you.
A surprise?
Yes, and if you follow me, we can surprise you with it. Happy birthday, Eeyore. We have a surprise for you.
Oh, yes, a secret surprise.
Oh, look, a new house. Just what I wanted. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, Eeyore.
And indeed, Pooh Bear remembered that Eeyore's birthday surprise was one of the best ever.